come up here, just because that way we can all kind of be here. I think we've got maybe one or two other people joining, but anyway, what time is it? Yeah, it's just after 10. So again, for those of you, for actually, I don't think, well, Shapar, you might have been on last time, but so it's based off of this book, an audiobook, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. And so I'm doing a 7-part series. Last time I did it on the first chapter, which basically is the law of, oh my gosh, it's.
Did you have your coffee?
I did. Why am I like the law of potentiality? Yes. So
I'm so sorry. Can you tell me the name of the audiobook again?
It's Deepak Chopra, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success.
Okay, thanks.
And it's great to listen to it in the car or wherever, and then also have the book handy, because there's a lot of things that he says that you're like, oh my gosh, aha. And then, to have the book and just kind of reread certain points is really great. And for me, basically, the reason I was so excited to share this is because, and Laura, you've been with me from years of doing AID, which is basically, having law of attraction work for us.
Yes.
Is that my aha moment came after a couple different things. I've kind of joined some network stuff kind of on this, and then also hearing Deepak Chopra talk about this on PBS. Actually, Jim and I watched it. Mm-hmm. And so what I realized from this was that in doing what this has, what he talks about, basically empowers the law of attraction stuff. There she is.
The glamour queen.
We love you. Come over here. No, don't. Just come over here.
No, I can't, because I got my yoga pants that I was going to change into.
Just put a chair. Get a chair over there. We're so happy to have you. We love you. We're so excited. We're like, Miss Danielle's coming. Yay! So, and good for you that you did that for yourself.
It's like the hottest class ever.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it, but we're so happy that you're here. So anyway, yes. So anyway, so I was talking about, the reason I wanted to do this was because when we talk about law of attraction, it's about focus on what you want, not what you don't want. Your mindset, be aware of your thoughts. But I feel like after listening to him, there was the aha moment for me. Oh my gosh, I need to work on me on these 7 steps, which I've been doing. And the results has been pretty phenomenal. Now, I don't know, I don't care, but I believe in it. And I have a lot of abundance going on right now. I have a lot of lightness going on right now. So when I started doing this, I'm not carrying resentment. I'm not carrying jealousy. I don't care what somebody else is doing or not doing. If they have,
in fact, you're happy for them.
Exactly. Good for you. I'm happy for you. If somebody is nasty, like the person that wrote terrible reviews about me and Susan 8 years ago because she didn't get a house that was in multiple, offer situation, and she's got some mental issues and ended up being on house arrest and everything and all over the news for the Craigslist thing. Remember that, Danielle?
I remember.
She's back again, posted a terrible review all at Google and
about you guys again?
Yes, yes, yes. But you know what?
Oh.
Instead of being upset, and
She's
go,
like
if
totally
you go on my
crazy.
Zillow, you can see it, although there is a good review on top of her. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm sorry. You know, obviously I ruined her life in her mind. You know, now she's in a Carmel Valley home, single story, what she wanted, but she's still holding on to the fact that she did not get the home of her quote unquote dream, you know. So, so I just send her love and light, and, you know, I'm sorry that, you know, that I disappointed you, and I hope you have a happy life. You know what I mean? And I just put it out there, let it go. And so that's the kind of interesting shift. Also, you know, going over the things that we talked about on this first chapter is no judgment. You know, you're not judging other people, because there is an armor on us all. Nobody really knows what anybody is like. You know what I mean? Inside. I mean, sometimes if you're really intimate with somebody, you really, you know them the best you can. But I can tell you, like, I mean, you know, if you have a partner in life, you know, your husband, your mother, or, you know, whatever it is, sister, you can think you know them really well. But there's parts you don't know. You just can't, you know, you can't know every feeling. You can't know things that are deep down that, you know, have been with them since the beginning. And so there is that kind of armor. So they're, you know, if something goes on and it's a trigger, they're going to show you maybe something that, you know, or react in a certain way that is hurtful, or they may say something that's hurtful or act in a certain way. And so if you don't take it personally and, you know, whatever, exactly. So, you know, for example, too, like this just happened to me. I had a client that I've been working with for 6 months. They were moving down here from Seattle, and they wanted like single story. We were looking Carlsbad, La Costa, San Marcos kind of area, because he works down here in Del Mar, but his son lives in Orange County, Mission Viejo area. And so they started looking there. He's like, Amy, can you help me there? And I'm like, oh geez, but they're so nice. So I said, sure. You know, I'm like, how much work can that be, right? So anyway, it's a very competitive market, bless you, up there as well, you know, up to like, you know, low millions. And so he got really frustrated because I told him, this is what we're going to need, you know, blah, blah, blah. And he sent me this email because there were second time there's been multiple offers. And he said, you know, Amy, I hope we get this one. Judy and I have decided, you know, that we appreciate everything. We're loyal as all get, but if we don't get this, we're finding another, you know, local agent. And it was kind of abrupt. It was kind of like, you know, whatever. And so, long story short, I wasn't sure if we were going to get the house or not. But I said to him, I said, you know, I want the best for you, you know, whatever. I'll help you find an agent up there, or if you have one in mind, I'll let you go, no problem. And I just want you happy. And I said, I do want
to get it if you pay.
Exactly. But
they want to be the multiple, but they don't want to be the highest.
Exactly. No, exactly. But with him too, it had to do with proof of funds, just a weird kind of thing. Not trusting, you know, he's salt of the earth, you know, basically taking it personal, you know, that. So, but anyway, to make a long story short, I said, did I do something? You know, because if I did, I want to know. And if I did, I'm sorry, you know. So because again, his thing, you know, and let it go. And he's like, he said to me, no. He says, it's just the situation, the whole thing, it's taking a toll. So anyway, long story short, I thought I had lost him. I just let it go. Guess what? We got it. Now let's see if it sticks. But anyway, we did. So I don't know if any of this is, I can't say for sure. All I can say is there's a lot of abundance for me right now with work, a lot of things that, are happening where I sort of laugh. But I would say that right now, and a lot of people are busier than, very busy, but I can't remember a time when I have been, as busy as I am right now. And I really, give credit to what I'm doing here in my mindset, which is always, like, to me, anything is possible. And I just put it out there. And so you attract certain things, so anyway, so that's where, and it's baby steps, right? It's not going to, and this, I've been working on this. I had to work through a lot. It's probably been 6 to 8 months of me purging out feelings about people, people that maybe have disappointed me in life or situations. We cannot control other people. We can't control things. We can only control ourselves. And so if we work on ourselves with all of this, then I can promise you're going to feel different. You're going to feel lighter, and and everybody has different forms of success. You know what I mean? Like, it could be anything. So, having, I love Danielle. She's like, 1 a month. Isn't that what you said to me? I'm just 1 a month. I'm happy with that. You know what, right?
2.
Or, okay, 2. Okay. Yeah.
I
Well,
upped it this
oh,
year.
okay. Yeah. Well, you can definitely do 2 a month, but you know what I'm saying? So everybody's, don't compare, everybody's, success is different. And, what you want for yourself is different. So anyway, so 2 a month, that's a no-brainer for you. And if 3 happens, awesome.
Even better.
Yeah. So, I will, and put it out there. I said to Allison, I said, I'm going to have 10 in escrow.
And you do.
I do. I don't know. I haven't even counted. I don't count. I don't keep, but I just put it out there. And she said, have you looked? And I said, no. So I know that, it's something like that.
I'm going to put 10 out there.
There you go. There you go. So, you know what I'm saying? But don't beat yourself up, but you have to work on all this other stuff, right? And you have to work, you know what I mean? You do. It's not like, sitting back and doing nothing. You have to make a plan, and again, you have to stick to your plan. So you make goals that are realistic. It does not happen overnight. Don't try to change yourself in huge milestones where there's no way you can implement what you want to do. But you need to have your calendar, make your plan, work your plan, and don't be attached to the outcome, which is law of attraction. And who cares? Who cares about anything? Who cares what people are thinking about you? Who cares if you make it or not? But the fact, if your wheels are, I always look at yourself kind of as a train, if your wheels are moving forward, good stuff is going to happen. And patience, because, sometimes it takes time, but then all of a sudden you're like, oh, holy shit. Right? And then you better call me to celebrate, because I like to know. So anyway, so So that's what we were kind of talking about. And Elizabeth was talking about, armor, right? Certain people having armor. And in this business, certain people are going to do certain things that are not always, not always right. You're going to get burned sometimes. It just is unfortunate.
We've all been burned.
We've all been burned. It's all part of it. It's a numbers game in some respects. And there is karma in this world. I believe that. But, hey, everybody's perception is different and they can justify what they did. I hear you. I'm happy for you, and please refer, if they're good, they're going to try to refer somebody because they're going to feel bad. So that's the way to handle it, rather than like, oh my gosh, I work with you, blah, blah, blah. Or, and again, it comes to your personal belief. If you feel I've been burned enough, or I don't want to get, having this situation, then, you sit down and you have them write down, sign a buyer broker agreement. So, I mean, I've been burned, but I don't have anybody do a buyer broker agreement. I just don't work that way. So, but it's a personal thing. So, yeah. So,
And most of the time when we're burned, it's like they don't even, it's happenstance, and they don't even understand the the system or how things work. It's very rarely where like you've worked with someone and then they conscientiously burn you. It just they don't even, I don't know. I mean, mostly it becomes a financial thing. Like, oh my God, I can get this house for less money.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's malicious and intended to burn you. It's just the reality of, at the end of the day, people care about money more than they care about relationships sometimes.
Right. Well, and and the important thing is, especially because now everything's so online and accessible, is you can't be afraid to say, this is how I work.
And explain your value to them.
Exactly. Like I had somebody that found me online from a home that I had sold. Culturally, they get, money back from things. And they were coming in town from the Bay Area. They wanted to look at some property on Saturday. I took them out, and he had asked for some money back on a new home. And I said, sure. Somebody else was willing to do it. And what do? You sign them in. So then, but the new home really wasn't what they're going to be looking for. They really prefer kind of more the style and more traditional of resales. So we get done with our kind of tour of these few houses. And, he said, well, there's, let me ask you this. There's agents that'll do this, whatever. And so I just looked at him. I said, I agreed on the new home because it's basically signing in, I'll give you whatever contacts I have to help. I said, but I won't do that on resale. I said, you've been talking to me for, 4 or 5 months. I've been giving you information, you keep coming back to me because I'm giving you value. You're trusting my opinion on things. You see that I'm looking out for your best interest on, this and that. And I said, yeah, you will find people, they may give you, half or more of commission. I said, I don't work that way. And I said, you can call me anytime, after, as I know anybody here, for a plumber, for this, for that, for advice, and I'll always be here for you. I said, most won't. And they're only thinking of, getting it done because they're given half their commission away. So they got to get somebody else, and you're not going to get the same quality. And so that's up to you. I said, think of it as a free date. We were on an intro date.
Mm-hmm.
So I had sent him floor plans. He wanted to see floor plans. He asked about it. So I followed up with the floor plans, and I said, great meeting you. Here's the floor plans. Again, this is what I agreed to do, new home, and, moving forward. And it was 2 days. I didn't hear anything. And I thought, lost him. But guess what? He emailed me back and so forth, and was asking more information. And he said, I appreciate. So you just have to tell people this is, and I'm looking at Magenta because you're new and you have to sit down and say, this is how I work, and let people know I don't get paid unless, I help somebody buy or sell a home. And I'm just letting you know that because a lot of people don't realize that, So, and I'll never pressure you on, to buy or not buy, but I just want to let you know. So if you go into an open house and somebody says, oh, work through me, they have one agenda on their mind, and that is, making two-sided commissions, and not really looking out for your best interest. I'm always going to look out for your best interest, and you're not going to get a better deal, and I'm free for you, which you are, because the seller pays your fee. So, it's how you flip it. And then if they understand that, then they're going to be loyal in most cases. But you have to explain. If you just start working with somebody and you don't explain, then you can get burned. Higher probability.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, one of the things too from the first chapter is that I kind of wrote down. Law of attraction starts with internal self. So that's what I've been working on, and that's why I'm so excited about this. Yes, most of us think about what happened yesterday or what's going to happen tomorrow. Forget all that. It's like, what's happening right now? And that's the cool thing. I was meeting with somebody that is dealing with a family, a son that is going through turmoil right now, and she's scared to death. And I said to her, you can, he could be hit by a car tomorrow. We all could. Well, because she's dealing with fear of, he's got some stuff going on. I know, but he could, we all could, right? But you can't live your life that way. You can just live in the moment. I know, but it's true. And this was just after Kobe, the whole thing, right? So, she's afraid, what is he going to do? He's, dealing with drug stuff, some heavy stuff. And I get it. And until you're in her shoes, but I'm trying to help her just be in the moment of now, because you can't control other people. You can only, show love and, understanding, and I'm here for you, and just be in that moment, because we don't know what tomorrow is going to be. So why worry about it, right? Why worry? So to me, that is huge. It's not even about, being even in the day. It's in the moment and being the best version of you in that moment. So there you go. So for today, this is, and I have, it's a 5-minute, chapter 2 is 5 minutes. So I can kind of go over my version, or do you want to hear him read it and then we can kind of talk about it? Because I have it on my phone. What do you think? Any input here? Any input here? What do we want to do?
I wouldn't mind hearing him.
Sorry, I was on mute. You're welcome to read it.
Okay. Well, all right, we're gonna. Yeah. It's Laura and Chopra. Okay.
Same with me. I was on mute, and I would appreciate.
Okay, no worries. Okay, I'm gonna just put it on here, just so you can hear him.
Heavy stuff.
It is heavy stuff, but it's so awesome.
No, I know.
It's awesome. I'm so excited. When I get excited, Okay, so this is, let me just see here. Okay, this is chapter 2. Okay.
The second spiritual law of success is the law of giving. This law could also be called the law of giving and receiving, because the universe operates through dynamic exchange. Nothing is static. Your body is in dynamic and constant exchange with the body of the universe. Your mind is dynamically interacting with the mind of the cosmos. Your energy is an expression of cosmic energy. This harmonious interaction of elements and forces in your life operates as the law of giving and receiving. And because your body and your mind and the universe are in constant and dynamic exchange, if you stop the circulation of energy, it's like stopping the flow of blood. As soon as you stop the flow of blood, it begins to clot, to coagulate, to strangle. That is why you must give and receive in order to keep wealth and affluence and abundance or anything you want in life circulating in your life. Money is really a symbol of the life energy we exchange and the life energy we use as a result of the service we provide to the universe. And in order to keep that energy coming to us, we have to keep the energy circulating. If you stop the circulation of money, if your only intention is to hold on to the money, since it is life energy, you will stop the circulation. Like a river, money must keep flowing, otherwise it begins to stagnate, to strangulate, and it can no longer support life. Circulation is what keeps it alive and vital. The word affluence, in fact, comes from the root word affluere, which means to flow to. The word affluence means to flow in abundance. In reality, receiving is the same thing as giving, because giving and receiving are different aspects of the flow of energy in the universe. The more you give, the more it will return to you because you keep the abundance of the universe circulating in your life. What goes up must come down. What goes out must come back. And the return is directly proportional to the giving, which is unconditional and from the heart. The best way to put the law of giving into operation, to start the process of circulation, is to make a decision that any time you come into contact with anyone, you will give them something. It doesn't have to be in the form of material things. It could be a flower, a compliment, or a prayer. In fact, the most powerful forms of giving are non-material. The gifts of caring, attention, affection, appreciation, and love are some of the most precious gifts you can give, and they don't cost you anything. When you meet someone, you can silently send them a blessing, wishing them happiness, joy, and laughter. This kind of silent giving can be very powerful. One of the things that I was taught as a child and is to go to anyone's house without taking something. Never visit anyone without bringing them a gift. You may say, how can I give to others when at the moment I don't have enough myself? You could bring a flower, one flower. You can bring a note or a card which says something about your feelings for the person you're visiting. You can bring a compliment. You can bring a prayer. But make a decision to give wherever you go, to whomever you see. And as long as you're giving, you will be receiving. Again, it doesn't have to be anything material, but by and by include material things also. They don't have to be expensive. The most important thing is to start the process of circulation. The more you give, the more confidence you will gain in that it brings things to you. And the more you receive, the more you will also be able to give. Applying the law of giving. I will put the law of giving into effect by making a commitment to take the following steps. 1. Wherever I go and whoever I encounter, I shall bear a gift for them. The gift may be a compliment, a flower, or a prayer. Today I shall give something to everyone I come into contact with. And so I will begin the process of circulating wealth and affluence in my life and in the life of others. 2. Today I will gratefully receive all the gifts that life has to offer me. I will receive the gifts of nature, sunlight and the sound of birds singing, or spring showers, or the first snow of winter. I will also be open to receiving from others, whether it be in the form of a material gift, money, a compliment, or a prayer. 3. I will make a commitment to keep wealth circulating in my life by giving and receiving life's most precious gifts, the gifts of caring, affection, appreciation, and love. Each time I meet someone, I will silently wish them happiness, joy, and laughter.
Okay.
They're such easy things to do.
Yeah, so easy, so easy. But the shift in you, it's if you practice, and it takes, you have to be aware again, you know how I talk about being aware of your thoughts or, whatever. So you have to be aware of your thoughts and you have to be aware of your feelings. So when you, if you go to a place that's not supporting this, then you're aware of it and just flip that. And, if you're feeling resentment or, anger towards somebody, just say a prayer, say a thought to that person. When this person, Kathy Rowe, wrote that, you should get an email, somebody wrote a review about you.
Oh,
And here it is. And I went,
nowhere.
it's 8 years,
Oh.
people. And I see this and I'm like, oh my gosh. And at first I go into panic mode, because people find you, and it's not just on Zillow, but it's also on Google. She wrote it. So,
You can just wish her good mental health.
Exactly.
I
And
mean,
happiness.
that's what driving it is. She's mentally ill.
Mentally ill and not a happy person. And she
Oh.
has, it's a tough life. She's got a very mentally ill daughter. She has no happiness in her life. So somebody like that, somebody that has like road rage, that's honking, they're not happy, right? So, you are like, I'm so sorry you're having a bad day. I hope you have an amazing, tomorrow or something, you know what I mean? So, but by doing those little things and being aware, and just controlling yourself and the way that you want to be, the kind of person you want to be perceived, and who cares again what people do perceive of you, because you're not everybody's going to think you're awesome or like you, or that's the kind of the beauty of it. You're going to attract certain people and somebody else is going to attract other people. And so, if they, just taking it back to work, if somebody chooses to work with somebody else and not you, well then, they're on more of a, that plane, and they're probably not your perfect client, right? So when you're working all of this, then you're going to attract more people that are on your wavelength, so that you can, not to say they're not going to drive you crazy. Oh my gosh. I have one right now. I adore her, but oh my gosh, she flew off the handle, just had a baby. So it was probably a lot of that going on. And, I just had to get her down to earth, but it took a lot of energy for me to, get her there and say, you got to see the bigger picture and blah, blah, blah. So, but, then she finally did, and then she thanked me. So she came back around to the person that I have known, but, so it's not always going to be, fantastic, but that person generally that you're working with, their core is somebody that is hopefully the kind of people that you want to be working with.
Yeah.
So anyway, but, I think from here all the way down to the last one is Dharma, which is, have you studied this or, really? Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm excited. So, well, let me say, the next one, which is chapter 3, is about karma. which is very
We love
exciting.
Dharma.
Yes, yeah. But I promise you, if you get this book and you get the audio, if everybody doesn't have Audible or whatever, because again, you have to listen to it multiple times. And if we have a commitment to, go through the chapters, and, any insight you have, or if you have tricks or things that have worked for you, or like little miracles, and you have to be, just like tying it back to law of attraction, you have to be aware of these little gifts that show up. And then you're just like, thank you. Wake up. What I've been doing is I wake up in gratitude. When I wake up, my first thoughts are thank you. Hey, I'm here for another day. So thank you. And I'm listening to birds. This morning it was so windy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I thought it was like the
Yeah.
Santa Ana's.
Yeah, crazy. And we have some eucalyptus trees behind us, and they were just going. And so I just sat outside with my coffee, and I'm just listening to it. And I'm just in total appreciation. Or right now, you can hear the birds right outside. So it's like you just got to be there. Make your plan for work, for life, for relationships, whatever it is you want. Make your plan. Don't care about the outcome. Don't hang on to it. The universe already knows. You already asked. You don't have to, go back and revisit. You already put it out there. You just work your plan. You let everything else go. You're going to feel lighter. That's the most amazing thing. You'll feel you're almost like floating out there. And I might sound a little weird for those people listening in or here, but it's the truth. It's a pretty awesome place to be. And then people are going to say, Lisbeth, what's going on with you?
Why do you look so happy?
Yeah, you're so happy. Oh my gosh, you're
glowing.
glowing. Exactly. Which I think most of us
In
are.
love with life. That's
right. So, and that should be your goal. I don't care how I get there, but this is what I'm doing. This is my path. And, and that's the cool thing is we have each other. If you're having a bad day, which again, we all have bad days, but you can call and get you on that path, or you write down, okay, if you're having a bad day, write 10 things that what you've got to find something that there's appreciation in, right? Laura just got a new puppy. I'm so glad. So did we lose Laura? We might have lost Laura.
No, I'm still here, and she's
Okay,
a little
awesome.
angel.
Yeah.
My daughter, she does puppy training.
Oh,
There you go.
Well, she's actually 2 or 3 years old, but yeah, so far she's been an angel since I picked her
Yeah.
up Sunday.
Little Roxy. So, yes, and I'm so happy because I know how much joy Roxy's going to bring to Laura. So I've been like
Thank you.
sending her, oh, look at this one, that one. So I got her. So
It only took me 9 years of talking about it.
that's okay. Hey, progress. You made it happen.
Big commitment.
Congratulations, Laura. I'm so
Thank
happy.
you, Jafar.
I'm a puppy mama and I'm very happy for you.
Oh, I know. I've been talking to her constantly. I'm like, oh no, I've become Shapar.
Yeah, so Shapar knows she's got her cute little one too. So, yeah, so, I mean, but that's, that's something else. It just brings you joy. Yes, it's a commitment, responsibility, whatever, but you've got to find joy, and then you find joy, and that's, one step closer to that. And, again, finding appreciation. Anybody have anything like ahas or questions? Or Rose, you're sitting back there very quiet.
Well, what was the title of the book that you?
It's
download the
yeah,
Audible, I think.
everybody know Deepak Chopra. Yeah, it's the 7 spiritual laws of success. It's a practical guide to the fulfillment of your dreams based on creating affluence. How about that? We're all working, right? That's what we all want, right? And, you know, it can be affluence in, you know, money, relationships,
Right, it's not always just.
higher
monetary.
power, whatever, you know, whatever it is.
You know, having made this move about 2 years ago, year and a half, because I was back and forth, it's hard to get myself living in the moment. So I'm asking myself, how do I live in the moment? This was a few months ago. Because you're planning for tomorrow, you know, doing work on the house and other things. And then you're thinking about, how did you do that 5 years ago? You know, how did we do that job 5 years ago? It's so difficult now. But living in the moment, so how do you live in the moment when you've been living in the future? You know, what's gonna, how are we gonna do this tomorrow? How long is it gonna take? So I got a meditation thing. Getting myself to live in the moment was deep breathing.
Yeah.
Because you have to think, you know, when you hear yourself inhaling and exhaling and inhaling and exhaling, and that's been very helpful, of course,
Well,
with some other meditation techniques.
Yeah. And you know, that's, you know, when you meditate, it's, you know, it's getting closer to self, you know, and I am not one that really meditates, which is, you know, people that know me are like, really? You know, I feel like you would meditate, you know, but my meditation, I try to do the breathing. I find it easier when I'm in bed in the morning, when I wake up and I'm like, you know, thank you. I immediately go to that thank you and appreciation. And then it's quiet and I'll breathe. Or, you know, I find moments, but it's not like long-term.
It could just be a mantra.
Yeah.
I think if you don't like to meditate, you can just have like this. We listened to one time where the guy who like all your subconscious thoughts and that
What was he that
he was like
weird?
the guru, and he's like, you should sleep with like positive, you know, you should have like when you're sleeping, play like all this positivity, but he had this thing where you just come up with a mantra, whatever, like one sentence. And anytime during the day, like if you have a negative thought or you get sidetracked, just stop and say your mantra, like it just reinforcing it constantly.
Yeah.
So it, you know, it could be anything. Like, so mine was stupid, but mine was like, I'm healthy and I'm wealthy, but my wealthy was defined by wealthy with my family, wealthy with my friends, and wealthy with my clients.
Right.
But it was just easy. I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, you know, but it wasn't wealth money. It was just like the abundance wealth. So I always go back to that.
What
'Cause I
was
don't have to
mine?
meditate.
Remember?
I know, but I'm like, I'm healthy.
I know,
and I'm
Daniel,
wealthy.
what
I go,
was the
well, I have
thing?
my family and I have my friends and I have my clients, you know.
I'm trying to think, because I would do that in the shower, but I'm
Right,
trying
you
to
had
think, what
one.
was that I had? I'm trying to remember.
Oh wait, you have yours was
What was it?
I choose happiness.
I choose. See this girl? Okay. Yes, I choose happiness.
It was super simple, but all day long you're like, I choose happiness. So you could just.
I downloaded the Calm app. For me, it works at night before bed
That's
because
what I have.
it actually helps me to relax because I don't sleep that well.
Yeah.
So if I, or you know, there's different, and I like their voices, and it's not what I thought it would be because I've always kind of rejected this whole thing, but now I've been to like 5 funerals in the last year. I'm like, you know,
Has
be
anybody read
grateful
that 10%
for life
happier book?
and
Yeah.
happiness.
10% happier.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So when you see all that going on, you're like, okay, life is really good. I tell myself every day now.
How about journaling? Does anybody do
Yeah.
that?
Well, I
That's
mean,
free if you
the-
can order that.
yeah, journaling, or, you know, this person that, you know, talked with, which, you know, it's interesting because she's very, very religious. And a lot of times people that are very religious, that they feel that this is what I'm talking about is religious, like it's going against Jesus or, you know, what they're taught.
It's the same thing. Really.
It's mindset. It's not
different. It's not related.
related. You can still
Yeah.
have your faith. It does not. It's talking about, you know, again, not judging. It's talking about things that are love. I mean, really coming from a place of love, acceptance, where you're not judging others, and who cares if they're judging you? It doesn't matter. And if they're judging you in a way that you know, that isn't nice or, you know, whatever, then that's their problem. That's their perception. And I, like Kathy Rowe, you know, she's not thinking
You're never
about me
gonna
in a
change her
beautiful,
perception.
I'm never going to change her. You know, I'm sorry she went through it. That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry you are where you are, and I wish you love, and I wish you a happy life. And that's that. And I surround myself with people that are, you know, supporting the energy that I want. But it takes time. And the thing, you know, the 10-10, and it doesn't matter. What works for one person may not work for somebody else. You just find the thing that works for you. And, you know, but my friend, 10 things she's grateful for, and 10 things, you know, you delegate that you would, you know, you want to see happen. And so if you do that every day, that's sort of a meditation thing, because you're in it for, you know, 5 to 10 minutes, and you're doing that. For me, like nature is really powerful for me. So, you know, like looking at beautiful trees, like I'm obsessed with beautiful trunks, you know, that are, you know, gnarly and gorgeous. I'm like, oh, it speaks to me, you know, and, you know, or hearing the birds, I feel like they're my angels, you know, sometimes. And, so yeah.
The ocean.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's my happy when every time I see like a dolphin or something, that's my, you know, my happy thing.
Torrey
So
Pines, I was there last night, like right by sunset. It's like, I'm like, I told my friend, we just have to stop and just and look at the sunset. I mean, it was just
Green
so, it's
appreciation.
like nature, the
Mhm.
birds, sunset. Oh, I love it.
yeah.
You
And
need
the
that.
rest, you need
Yeah.
it, and just be in that, and be in knowing of this is what I've got going on, you know, and these are the things. Make your goals, but don't think about tomorrow. So kind of going back, Rose, to what you were saying is make your plan, okay? But you can make your plan. This is what what you're going to do to attain the goals that you want, but let it go. So you're in the moment. So being in the moment is, you know, you've got your, let's say your day journal of from this time to this time, I'm doing this, you know, like I'm always in action. I am, you know, my mind never stops. Like, I need to do this. I need to do that. You know, sometimes it's 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm actually a good sleeper, but if I've got a lot going up, so I'll have my phone near and I'll make notes for, you know, whatever, because if I don't do that, then I won't be able to go back to sleep. But that's done. Then I've made that. So I'm always doing, but I'm not worrying about tomorrow. I'm not worrying about, you know, stressing, you know, certain things. When I have a lot going on, like I had, to do basically two new clients on a Saturday, like an area tours. That's really, that really stresses me out. You know, it's a lot of preparing and everything, but I was like, it's all good. They're going to be lovely, you know, and I know what I'm doing, and I plotted, this is my amount of time, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. I don't worry about it, but I'm prepared. You know what I'm saying? So you're just in the moment of, I've got this.
Yeah, I liked what he said during the audio of money being representation of like the universe energy, and that being evidence of you tapping into the circulation of it all.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a really fresh perspective on what money symbolizes.
Yeah.
I think that that's helpful for where I'm at, because a lot of times I feel like the like stress of maintaining wealth or gaining wealth becomes something that isn't necessarily what I should be focusing on, because it's like this ugly thing.
Yeah.
But thinking of it that way is really nice.
Yeah. Well, you just know it's coming, you know, you know, you're starting out, right?
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of pressure on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of, stress. I don't know it all, or, we're whatever. So if your wheels are in motion and you have a plan of you just have to be in front of people, because everybody here has great energy. If you meet any one of us, people, and you have to practice your craft. I mean, you have to practice your words. That's why, like, when you're newer, if you're not confident talking to people, then it's going to come across.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing, that I know, for me, when I started, my gifts are not school. I was a horrible student. But I always was like, fake it till you make it. I don't overthink. I'm just like, I just need to know a little bit to make me sound smart. And that's been my whole success, really. I mean, as you go along, you know more and more, but I don't need to know. Like, if I haven't shown, let's say, I don't know downtown, I just need to know a little bit. And you can learn by talking to listing agents that sell a lot. Can you tell me about the neighborhood I'm planning on showing, or whatever? You do whatever, just so you know enough, because your chances are you're going to know more than what, the person you're showing.
Yeah.
And you can be honest, one time I had to show something downtown. I never do any downtown work. And the listing agent, and it was their assistant, but they own downtown. So I was really honest. I said, could I ask you a couple of questions? Because I don't know downtown at all. This is a repeat buyer of mine, and any information you could share would be really helpful. And he said, oh my God, how refreshing. I hate when people try to act like they work downtown all the time. They don't. So I've had to be like, ask away.
Yeah.
So don't, be afraid either to just, try to find an agent who does work that area, because if they're the local expert, they're usually pretty friendly and will share.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, or, go on the Facebook, the CPP Facebook, and say, hey, I got a show here. Anybody know anything?
Right.
Yeah,
You
that's a
know,
good one.
Yeah, but I mean, you just need to know a little bit, and know, have in your mindset, I got this, and I'm going to have fun, and, and I'm out meeting. You just have to meet people. That's the name of this business. You just have to meet people. But when you're stressed, we've been talking a lot, right? I got to get busy. I got to have a deal, or this and that. That is worry of lack. And the way law of attraction works, the way all of this works is, in your mind, it's already coming, and let it go. Who cares? Because you are feeling light, which when there's lack, it's hard. Okay. I mean, you just got to, again, breathe, visualize yourself, with the right kind of people, deals happening, and support, love, and light all around you. And you're a magnet for the things that you want.
Because the one component of this law of attraction is careful what you ask for, because the lack's a negative, and when you're focused on the negative, that's what you're asking for actually. So you can't, that worry, and then, oh my God, are they going to call me? That's what you're attracting. So you have to, that's why the negativity has to be cleansed, and it's just the positive, because you can attract all the bad things too.
Yeah.
Not just the good things.
Yeah. But when you let it go, like this client that I just said, hey, I'll find you somebody, or I just want you happy. Well, guess what? Came back to me.
The takeaway.
I just, but I let it go. I let go of the deal. I let go of whatever. It didn't matter. It's okay. And it came back. And that's what I used to do also. Like, for me, requests for repairs were always like, oh, when you're trying to do a deal, or it goes sideways, things happen. When I would hold on to, the closing, or, oh my gosh, then that's when stuff didn't go great. When I learned to let go of the outcome of requests for repairs, are they going to, is my client going to be, receptive to this or that? It always worked out.
Yeah.
And so that was a huge thing. And that, I don't know when that happened, probably 3 years in or something, you know,
Right.
but the first 3 years I just stressed, you know. So, you know, and the takeaway, like Danielle's talking about, is really great, you know. So,
It's funny because, you know, I do a lot of open houses and I follow up, and the less people respond, the less I follow up, and I still follow up. But this particular couple, I hadn't followed up for a month, and I just got a text last week. Hey, we're ready to start looking right now. Like, it's just weird. Like, I had kind of forgotten about them. I'm like, who? I thought it was my neighbor, Alice. How is you?
Well, it's funny because
I
I
was like,
try to stay in touch with someone, like as many clients
Right.
as possible. And then like my listing in Idaho were old clients of mine that I had stayed in really good touch with for like 3 years. And then the last 2 I hadn't. So I was
is that the
like,
one from Palmettos?
No, it's Sea Chase. Your client bought the house.
Oh,
They
right.
had to
Because remember the Palmettos people, I thought they bought in La Jolla too, I was thinking. You know, the Solana Beach?
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah.
they live in La Jolla, but they.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, look who's here. Come on in. Are you having your class?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. No, we're done. We're done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, are you
Yeah.
audible? I have the best
Uh-huh.
book you have to read.
Oh, yes.
It's not.
Oh, I have something else for you too. I'm kind of interested.
So I moved it to Wednesdays because people are traveling on the weekend, but
Oh.
I did it after your class.
Oh, okay, cool.
So whoever can come in early, they
Yeah,
can do your class.
yeah. I know. I was like, who is that? I don't know who that is. Oh, is that you, Rita? Oh, anyway, but yeah, all good.
It's not, it's the book.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Amy.
Oh,
As
thank you
usual,
so
it was
much.
Fantastic. Thanks.
Oh, this is called.
Thank you, Amy.
Oh, that's funny. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
She's a LA therapist. She's a very interesting person. And it's about her, obviously, patients she's gotten permission to discuss. And so it's her journey of her going through therapy herself for kind of every, and then like she kind of highlights 5 different patients. So there's so much, it's fun, it's funny. There's a lot of like just really good helpful tips in there.
Yeah.
But like she's our age and she's,
Oh, cool.
yeah, so
Cool.
it's a great audible.
One of the things that I'm doing that's going to be very interesting. I'll tell you about it. You know, Rhonda does the Reiki and you know whatever. There's this lady that does this emotion code over the phone. So she releases all this shit that you're not even aware of from like the womb.
Allie needs that.
Well, I kind of wanted Grace to do it, but
Okay.
Rhonda said it's amazing.
Are you gonna do it soon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'll send you, I mean, I'll give you her info.
Okay, so-
But did you get the book, Emotion Code?
No. I
Okay,
don't
you
know.
should, it's on Audible too. They
Okay.
talk about it. And, yeah, it's called Emotion Code, but she, cause you know, Rhonda's really been going deep into Reiki and all this other stuff, but, yeah, so,
So I bought Allie for Christmas tickets to